Hello, this is a review of a study entitled Application of a Posse Set and Posse Logic to Economy, Study Literature Review of a Journal, which was conducted by Suraipa Setroslita of Department of Mathematics, University of Islam Riwa, Pekanbaru, Indonesia. Upon reading this study, these are the objectives of the researcher: to describe the set of application and posse logic on the economy, to have comparative analysis of different studies related to application of the posse logic to the economy, and to identify some reason why posse logic is advisable to use to model and provide system solution in the real world. What are the research questions? The journal doesn't emphasize specific research questions. However, by analyzing the paper, the main objective of the researcher is to describe and look for some reason why posse logic is advisable to use in modeling the economy. What were the methods used in collecting data? This is how the researcher collects and presents data. The researcher collected various related literature on modeling the economy. The researcher cites different solutions offered by the previous researchers on how they create modeling approaches to understand and predict values in the economy. The researcher points out several flaws in these modeling methods introduced by the previous researcher, such as the use of statistical method based on the probability theory, which failed to forecast a few series within the linear structure. The researcher also points out how the other researchers have overcome other gaps in modeling the economy using posse logic, such as the ability of this technique to address difficulties of uncertainty. Through this, the researchers were able to show how other researchers see the advantages of applying posse logic to different problems in relation to modeling the economy. Data collected by the researcher. Here are some of the gaps introduced by the researcher and how posse logic helps in providing solution for these gaps in modeling the economy. In analyzing content of the black box, approaches used were linear system approach, econometrics, interpolation, expert system, and posse logic. In addition, as stated by the researcher, using posse logic in almost every case is the faster and cheaper way in dealing with the black box. In predicting stock prices, approaches used were regression method and ARIMA models. However, these methods fail to provide accurate prediction for several other limitations. Considering the different factors that may affect the accuracy level of forecasting stock prices, some researchers believe that the strengths and weaknesses of the neuroposse and posse logic have combined to give the ability to learn from neural network and the function of the posse expert system. And the question is, can the neuroposse model predict stock indices? In providing indicators of crisis, there are various models recommend possible variables as the main indicators of crisis. However, the result of the sample data forecasting beyond a theoretical model for the case of the Asian financial crisis is largely disappointing. In contrast, the empirical shows that the neuro-posse approaches produce significantly better prediction compared to the traditional approaches such as logic techniques. The data also shows some posse logic application in the field of business, which were Application in trading world. Combination of fuzzy logic and on to describe the input. Fuzzy logic is used for application of cash discount techniques to justify the manufacturing technology studied many documents. Fuzzy logic approach in modeling the New Zealand underground economy. And for findings. The researcher conducted a review of various work of other researchers in the application of fuzzy logic to understand or model the economy in various sectors. The researcher concluded that, for some reason, fuzzy logic is recommended while modeling the economy because conceptually easy to use because of its base on a simple mathematical concept, their tolerance to uncertainty data, programmed to model the system that is not linear and complex. Working system is based on everyday human communication. This is my brief review of the study of Soraipa Sestroslita entitled Application of Fuzzy Set and Fuzzy Logic to Economic Problems, the study of literature review of journal. Thank you and have a great day.